The domains of dreads are upon us. Today I am back with another episode of War Marvel, and we are going to be unboxing Dormammu, CP33 Dormammu, as well as the CK09 Domain of Dread Dormammu Organized Play Kit. So we're going to be undoing unboxing of both of these. Oh my gosh, such a big box. I can't fit my hands around it. But yeah, so we're going to be doing an unboxing of both these today, checking them out, checking out the sculpts for Dormammu, as well as the ultimate encounter in that box and the terrain, and then also looking at the organized play kit for him as well, for the Domain of Dread. Really looking forward to it. Some of the new releases that we've got here in Canada, so I'm excited to get them unboxed and get them painted and throw them on the table. Already have an idea for a list with Dormammu in it that I've been working on. Nothing too crazy, but just got models that I want to throw in with him. But I haven't figured out tactics cards and such like that. But before we go into this unboxing, I'd give a big shout out to Torchlight Games and Hobbies out of Burlington, Ontario, Canada. You can check them out in the link in the description of the video down below. When you're there, you can use the code FIRE5 to save yourself 5% off your hobby supply needs. So go check those guys out. They are the channel sponsors, so I appreciate the help from those guys. Also, while you're there, you can check out our Patreon page, and you can help the channel if you would like through there. It could be as little as $1 a month if you're so inclined. And we appreciate all the support from the Patreon members, past and present. So I guess without further ado, let's jump into the unboxing of Dormammu. We'll start off with the big box, and then we'll look at the Domain of Dread Organized Play Kit. And let's dive in. And here we are with the boxes. We've got CP33, the big guy himself, Dormammu. I really love the terrain that actually comes with it from the Dark World, or the Dark Dimension, I guess. It just looks so cool, neat, and you can play with it with the painting in the sense of you're blending the blues into the purples and the pinks and everything else. So really, really cool. And then obviously you got CK09, which is the organized play kit. So we will look at that after, but we're going to take a look at CP33 first. So it does come with 3 terrain pieces. So the base that he's standing on with the portal behind it, and then 2 bits as well, and then Dormammu himself. So in total, 1 Dormammu miniature, 1 Nexus, 2 dimensional rifts, 34 tokens, 3 tip cards, 1 Mystic Surge deck, 1 character stat card, 2 ultimate encounter large stat cards, and then 1 rulebook and 2 team tactics cards. Let's open all that up. You got your terrain here, which are the dimensional rifts, and then you got your base, and Dormammu's in there. He is such a big piece of plastic. There is a ton of stuff that comes in this. I'm gonna get this guy painted up as fast as possible, and go from there. So, all right, let's see. Did I put everything in here? I am looking for the Ultimate Encounter book. Maybe it's inside here. But yeah, so you got your instructions first. Right. With your credits and everything else there. Shows you how to do the dimensional rift assembly. Looks to be about 7 steps. And then the portal assembly as well, which is going to be awesome. And then, what are those? Optional fire. I like optional fire. And then obviously the assembly guide for Dormammu. So, super easy. Let's look at the sprues for the dimensional rifts. Then we'll look at the base, then Dormammu's sprue himself. So you have your base part for the dimensional rift right there. Let's see how close I can get so it's in focus. Yeah. Right, so really cool, really solid. I like it a lot. Gonna be fun. You can see the second one there. They're pretty much the exact same. They are the exact same. So I guess I can just show you one. Don't need to show you both. And then all of the weird globe-like effects and everything else for the dimensional rifts. So yeah, that's the terrain piece, which does come into play for the ultimate encounter. You do need it for that. And maybe you just want to make a new board, and you could use that to help create like a dark dimension of some sort. I'm looking at my terrain and I'm like, on my walls here, and I'm like, how else could I do that? I'm like, I could do like some portals and stuff like that, which is what I'm actually thinking I'm going to do. When I run the ultimate encounter, I'm thinking I might make it like a old world European city with like portals tearing through like archways and stuff like that. I think that would just be really cool. That would sort of go with like the dimensional rift feeling, at least in my head. So you get a ton of bases here. So I'm just gonna set those aside for right now. And we'll look at the actual display base. What the portal, I guess. So that's where Dormammu space would go. You have the portal that would go over top. You have all the stone pieces here that you would insert in there as well. A lot of nice texture. Going to be a really nice, I think, quick and easy dry brush to get that all painted up and everything. You have the portal itself, which I'm going to be using a lot of stipling with the with oranges and yellows, just like you see with the mini himself. It will tie in that energy flame look. Then you have your optional flame pieces. Even if you don't use it on the base, you can still use it in the game and just place it around as like scatter terrain, just to sort of bring that immersion into it as well. You also have 3 bases technically. You have 2 new bases, which are specific for him, and matches the display piece over there, which is really nice. I like that. And then you have a big cityscape one as well. So maybe you want to magnetize them, put a magnet, strong magnet underneath here and on his feet, and then you can sort of swap them out as needed if you want them as more of like a city board, or more of a his Dark Dimension board there, which I'm completely using the Dark Dimension. I'm not going to magnetize it because I don't think I have any magnets right now. Here's the sprues. You can see all the texture in the armor and everything, like all the lines and that. It just looks so cool. The feet with the flames coming off of it, it's great. You got his hands there with all the marks and everything else. I don't know if you can see that very well. No, out of focus. There we go. But yeah, so lots of textures in this that you can play with and really build up with your painting and everything else. So I love it. Nice flowing cape. His head with the flame and the skull in it. Let's see how close I can get that to focus. There, I think that's about it. But yeah, you can see all the textures on the skull and everything else. So really, really cool. I'm just trying to see what they do here. And then more flames and shoulder pads. And I think that's his neck piece, if I remember correctly. So his head would go in there. Cool. So that's the sprues. Lots of plastic to build off of, but it looks really, really neat. He's going to be a big boy, a very, very big boy. And he's going to be super fun to play. So let's take a look at his card. Because he does have his basic card here. He is, there it is there. You can see it. And so he has, on his healthy side, 10 stamina, medium movement with that massive base. It's going to be super good. Size 5, so not a lot of things can throw him. 8 threat, if you're going to use them. Defenses are 4, 4, 5. His first attack is an energy attack. It's Shadow Bolt, so range for 6 dice and then 0 power to do. On a wild, it causes or gives the target Hex, and then it also saps on wilds as well. So for each wild, you drain 1 power from the target, and you gain that power. His next attack is Incantation of Obliteration. It's a range 3, strength 8 attack, so 8 dice, and it costs 5 power to do. On a hit, a crit hit, block, and failure, you have Dark Miasm. After this attack is resolved, the target or this character may make an additional Incantation of Obliteration attack without paying the power cost. The additional attack must target another character, or target a character within range 2 of the original target character that has not been targeted by Incantation of Obliteration this round. So you can get it off multiple times if you're lucky enough, with your dice, just like Quicksilver. And that's sort of what I'm playing off of in the list. So I added in like Baron Mordo, that you can increase the attack dice of your ally. So it would increase it to 10, and hopefully you would get that to hopefully get a second one off. You can use it once a turn. but it will hopefully help him. That was what I was thinking. That was one of the things that I was going to do. So his leadership is pretty cool. So Flames of the Faultine. Faultine. Dark Dimension is the affiliation. If Dormammu is included in a squad, the squad affiliation is affiliated with Dark Dimension and must use this leadership ability. This character and each other character you control gains 1 additional power during the power phase. During the power phase, if another allied character has 6 or more power, it suffers 1 damage. So people that need the power to do their attacks and abilities that are really power starved, I think would fit in well with this. Anybody really that can do lots of things with their superpowers are just going to be really good. I can see a lot of things, like even Iron Fist maybe. All of a sudden you're getting your Iron Fist off that much more frequently. It just looks like it could be a lot of fun. Yeah, just so much power. So first superpower, not of this dimension, place this character within 2 of its current position. This superpower can only be used once per turn. It costs 3 power to do. And then as a reactive, you have Feel the Power of the Darkness, costs 2 to use. After an attack targeting this character is resolved, it may use the superpower. The attacking character is pushed away from this character short and gains the Hex special condition. If the attacking character already had the Hex special condition, it gains the Incinerate special condition. Oh, Hex Incinerate, so good. Hex, obviously, you don't explode your crits, and Incinerate, you lower your defense rolls by 1. All for 2 measly power, so which he's going to have right off the bat as soon as he activates, because he gets 2 power return because of his leadership ability. Then you have Master of the Realm of Darkness. When this character suffers damage from an enemy effect, it gains 1 power instead of power equal to the damage suffered. When another allied character is damaged by an enemy effect or by Flames of a Faultine, this character gains 1 power. So basically, if you're damaging his allies, he's getting power, whether if it's through his leadership or through somebody else attacking. So he's going to eventually get a ton of power once you get in there. And then additionally, when calculating success or failure of this character's attacks, this character adds the number of failures in both the attack and defense rolls to its successes. So really interesting if you pair him with, let's say, Mysterio in the turn that he uses the Grand Illusion, where you turn all of your opponent's crits into failures. All of a sudden, his defense roll, if he does have crits, will just add that many more successes to the attack roll of this. So that's really cool. Big changes on the other side is, I think the only change on the other side actually is that he goes from 10 stamina up to 12. But for 8 threat, like that, he is a beastly character with a ton of options there to play with. I definitely want to try him. It's going to be like a weird list. Like I want to try him to see how well he does. Like I don't think he's going to be, I don't know. I don't think he's going to be something that I play all the time, but I definitely want to try him at least a couple of times in a list, just to see how it would play out, and maybe see if I can get him to work or not. Who knows? Tactics cards that you have with him are Dark Empowerment is the first one, so Dark Dimension active. During this character's activation, it may suffer 1 damage to play this card. Choose another character within range 3 of the active character. The effects of the next attack made this turn by the active character cannot use it to gain power. The chosen character gains power equal to the damage dealt by this attack. So basically you're allowing somebody else to gain power off of your attack rolls, and you forego gaining the power yourself. So if you want to power somebody up that needs power to do something big, that's the way to do it. And use it on a spender if you can. And away you go. The other tactics cards that you can use in your base game are Dark Restoration. It's a Dark Dimension affiliated card. Reactive. During the cleanup phase, Dormammu may spend 6 power to play this card. Place an allied character of threat value 3 or less that has been KO'd this game within 2 of Dormammu. This character is healthy and has no damage, special conditions, or effects. So that's going to be really good, like for, I think, Hood or Mordo or somebody else that really will help support Dormammu. If they get taken out and targeted, you can just use that card, pay 6 power, which you're going to have anyways, and bring that character back. So it gives you some staying power, I guess you can say, with that. So yeah, that is Dormammu for the base game, not the ultimate encounter. The ultimate encounter one is going to be really interesting. So let's take a look at the ultimate encounter next after I clean this up. All right, so here we go with the ultimate encounter. We're going to show off the tokens first. You do have your token sheet here, which comes with a bunch of stuff. You have your shards here, which can be collected by minions and are being brought back to the nexus point, which we'll go over later on, by the minions of Dormammu. So basically Dormammu, the whole story with him is that he is coming from the dark dimension and is starting to get a foothold on Earth, or in Earth, or I guess wherever else that you are playing this game, and he has taken over people's minds to help collect the shards to help improve his influence and power on the Earth and allow him to maintain control. So you have the shards, like I said, you have some Hex here for your basic game, as well as some Incinerate, and then these are all spell components. So it says, I think, in the description of the ultimate encounter that, if I can find it here, that basically Doctor Strange has taught the heroes how to cast a spell to limit or send Dormammu back. And so yeah, that's what you have to do, is collect these and then place them in the portals. So they're all color coordinated. And so you have to collect one of each of these randomly from the dimensional rifts, and then you have to place them in the 4 portals that are happening. So these are the portals here, and so each one has a color that will be associated with it. They're not associated with it, but one of each color must be inserted into it, because there's 4 different spell components for it. So yeah. So you get 4 of those as well. And once you get all 4, it will close the portal, and that is how the heroes win, is by closing the portal. We'll go into the details more momentarily. I might as well do it now, actually. So those are all the tokens that come with the ultimate encounter. So you have your basic rules for your ultimate encounter, power phase, cleanup, yada yada yada, explaining how you can play it. And then it goes into selecting a difficulty. It talks about minions, which minions are a thing here as well. Going into difficulty. So here, Ultimate Encounter, Dark Incursions. The Crisis team must gather spell components, bringing them to the portals to perform rituals. They must close all 4 portals before Dormammu can finally materialize. Dormammu's minions must collect shards from the Dark Dimension portals, which are, like I said, these are Dark Dimension portals. Or from the essence of the Crisis team, and bring them to the Nexus, which is the base that he sits on. This would be the Nexus with like the big eye. That's the Nexus there. And so yeah, minions gain bonuses when near portals, but they can be dazed and send them back to the Dark Dimension for a time, because they'll keep coming back. So the Crisis team is made up of 2 players, each with maximum 17 threat squads. A Crisis team squad chooses a number of tactics cards based on the difficulty level. Cosmic Threat player squads consist of Dormammu, and with the presence stat 1 card in a number of minions as shown in the difficulty. So you have 4 different difficulties. You have narrative, normal, hard, insane. So for difficulty narrative, you get 0 tactics cards, and then there's 2 characters of threat level 3 or less as minions for Dormammu. Normal, you get 3 tactics cards apiece, and then 2 characters of threat level 4 or less. Hard, it goes into 2 tactics cards, 3 characters of threat level 4 or less, and then insane, 1 tactics card with 3 characters of threat level 5 or less. Mission setup: when creating the battlefield from the ultimate encounter, make sure to include thematic elements showing the Dark Dimension breaking through or breaking into our reality, as well as obstacles to slow down Dormammu's mission. Place the Nexus dimensional rifts as shown on the setup map, then create the spell component pool near the battlefield, flipping all 20 spell components tokens face down and shuffling them. I'm just going to put them in a bag that you can't see into, and then you can just draw randomly. I think that will be the easiest way to do it. Yeah, face down, shuffle them. Players then shuffle the Mystical Surge deck, which are these cards here, because they will come into effect after you close a portal. You get to draw one of those. and place it near the battlefield. And then it goes into your placement. So you have, like I said, you have your mat. Your deployment is up here in the corner, with the Nexus on the far side, dimensional rifts in the corner, and then dimensional portals here, 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 and here. Spell components, shards. So priority goes to the Crisis team. And then deployment, the Crisis team deploys their squads in the corner opposite of the Nexus, and then the Cosmic Threat player deploys Dormammu in the Nexus. Finally, the Cosmic Threat player deploys their minions within range 1 of a dimensional rift, one at a time, alternating between the dimensional rifts. So with the rifts, you have one there and one there. So if you're doing normal, you're getting one on each dimensional rift right off the bat. Victory points. The Crisis team cannot score victory points. This encounter, the Cosmic player scores victory points equal to Dormammu's presence level during each cleanup phase, but cannot earn VPs in any other way. Tokens and objectives. So the Dark Dimension portals targets of opportunity. Dark Dimension portals represent Dormammu's foothold in our dimension. They give him and his minions power and must be closed at all costs. Characters cannot end a movement overlapping a dark dimensional portal. So dimensional rifts. These rifts from the dark dimension house powerful reagents and are a focus of mystic power. Crisis team characters can gather spell components from them. The characters may interact with dimensional rifts as if they were objectives. Dimensional rifts are sized to non-interactive terrain, and then characters cannot move overlapping dimensional rift terrain feature. The Nexus terrain feature is focal point of Dormammu's incursion onto Earth and the source of the power of his power here. Each time that he is dazed, he will return to Earth through this dimensional portal. The Nexus size 2, non-interactive terrain. Dormammu may overlap the Nexus terrain feature. Only Dormammu, sorry. No other characters may end a movement overlapping the Nexus. So the shards are needed to strengthen Dormammu's foothold on Earth. His minions must gather the shards as they can bring them to the Nexus. When a shard is dropped, it shatters. Instead of placing on the battlefield, it's just removed. Spell components. There are 4 spell components that can be found around the battlefield. The Crisis team must gather these components and complete the ritual with them to drive back the invasion. And they must do it quickly. Bringing spell components to the portals will seal them and cause a surge of mystic energy. So then you go into the Mystic Surge deck. Mystical Surge deck is made up of 8 Mystical Surge cards. These are status cards and have specific instructions for players on them. So let's just go over those Mystic Surge decks now. So you have Banishment. So when this card is revealed, choose a Crisis team character. This character may use the above attack once this game and then discard this card. So it's Banishment, range 3, strength 8, 0 power. On a crit, wild, and 2 hits, you get Banishment, double the damage dealt by this attack. You may re-roll any number of attack dice for this attack, and the damage from this attack cannot be prevented by beings from another dimension special rule, which is going to be on Dormammu's stat card for the ultimate encounter. You have Reality Vortex, so they're not all good, by the way. When this card is revealed, destroy all interactive terrain feature within range 2 of the closing dark dimensional portal. Add the sizes of the destroyed terrain feature together. The characters within range 2 of the closing portal suffer damage equal to the total size of the destroyed terrain distributed evenly among them. Any excess damage is discarded. If there are more characters than the total size of destroyed terrain, each character suffers 1 point of damage. Like I said, not all good. So yeah, it's just imploding an area. Blazing Inferno. When this card is revealed, all characters within range 2 of the closing dark dimension portal suffer 2 damage. Each damaged character gains 4 power. So good and bad. Dangerous Blessing. When this card is revealed, the character that interacted to close the portal gains the bleed in stagger condition. The interacting character and all Crisis team characters within range 3 of it gain a power and may remove 1 damage token. Cosmic Threat characters within range 3 of the interacting character are pushed away from the character short by the Crisis team. Stalking Shadows. When this card is revealed, the Cosmic Threat player may place any number of allied characters within range 2 of the closing portal. So move people around to where you need them, basically. And then Dark Blessing. When this card is revealed, the Crisis team draws 5 spell components from the pool and places each within range 2 of the Nexus and not within 1 of another spell component. That's going to be really good if you end up drawing that one, just so you can get the spell components you need to close the other dimensions, dimensional portals, or rifts. No, portals. Yeah. Terrors of the Void. When this character is revealed, the Cosmic Threat player may advance all Crisis characters within 2 of its shores. Extra movement's always good. And then Chosen One. When this character is revealed, or when this card is revealed, the character that placed the last spell component on the closing portal removes all damage, flips its stat card over to the healthy side if it is injured, and gains 10 power. In addition, if this character's activation, or if it's that character's activation, it does not gain an activated token after it completes its activation. If it has an activation token, remove it. This character picks up 1 spell component of his choice from the pool. Do not draw at random. So those are the mystical surge decks and things that can happen to you as you close the portals right there. So let me see. The Dark Dimension. So the Dormammu has started his assault on Earth by opening portals to the Dark Dimension. Through these portals, he's gained a foothold. And with that foothold, he has mind-controlled some of the mightiest heroes on Earth. Dormammu gains a larger presence on Earth as his minions bring shards from around the battlefield to his nexus. Dormammu has 4 stat cards, each represented by his presence level in Earth's dimension, and that these presence levels range from 0 to 3. Dormammu begins the game with the presence 1 stat card. Dormammu's current presence can be found where his alter ego would normally be found, and then draw power. So throughout the game, Dormammu is able to draw power from the Nexus. When he does, the Cosmic Threat player may remove shard tokens from the Nexus equal to Dormammu's current presence plus 1. Replace Dormammu's current stat card with the stat card with a presence equal to the number of the shards. So that's him basically drawing power to continue to get stronger and stronger, increasing his presence and obviously his defense and attacks and everything else, which we'll go over when we're looking at his Dormammu stat cards. Dormammu may draw power during each cleanup phase whenever he would be placed back on the battlefield at the Nexus, or when a special rule or effect says he may draw power. So Arcane Teachings. Doctor Strange has given the Crisis team the spell outlines for banishing the Dark Dimension portals. Each portal has a ritual that must be performed at its location to close it. Doing so will cause a surge of mystical energy. The Crisis team draws a mystical surge card from once all the components are brought to the portal, then the portal is closed. The Crisis team characters must bring spell components to the Dark Dimension portals. Once one of each spell component has been placed on the portal, the ritual is performed. The Crisis team draws a mystical surge card and resolves its effects, then the Dark Dimensional portal is removed from the battlefield. Ending the encounter, so mission accomplished. If the Crisis team can close all 4 Dark Dimension portals before Dormammu can fully break into the world, they have thwarted the Dark Master's plans and win the game. So the Crisis team closes all portals by gathering spell components and bringing them to the portals. Unlimited power. During the cleanup phase, Cosmic Threat player scores VPs equal to Dormammu's presence. If at any time the player has 8 VPs or more, Dormammu has successfully broken into the Earth's dimension, and they win the game. Cosmic Threat player increases Dormammu's presence by bringing shards to the Nexus with the minions. Special rules are obviously on the cards. So that is the booklet that comes with it, and a lot of talking. Let's look at these cards next. So looking at the tip cards now, you have your general tip card for Dark Intruder. Dark Dimension Portal, target of opportunity. Dark Dimension portals represent Dormammu's foothold and dimension. They give him and his minions powers and must be closed at all costs. Characters cannot end, so we explained most of that. Then the rifts give you the size feature. Characters must interact with dimensional rifts as if they were objective tokens. Characters cannot end a movement overlapping the rifts. Nexus goes into that, and then Dormammu is the only one that can overlap it at the end of a movement. So, and then it goes into shards, which we already talked about. Spell components. So there are 4 spell components. You got to bring each of them to the rifts. The portals, one of each color to successfully complete it, and then you get your mystical surge deck. Again, the layout of the map and everything. And then you have your tip card for the Cosmic Threat. So interact Dark Dimensional Portal. A minion uses this to interact. A minion may use this interact ability, pick up a shard. So the portals are the 4 of them again, right? That are here, 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 and here. So minions can pick up the shards, interact with the Nexus, and minion may use this interact ability. If this minion is holding a shard, move the shard to the Nexus. Interact spell component. Dormammu may use this to interact this interact ability. Dormammu picks up a spell component. If Dormammu has 3 spell components, return all spell components to the pool face down and add a shard to the Nexus. Interact with the Nexus or Dimensional Rift. Place this character within one of a dimensional portal. Beings from another dimension. When a character threat or cosmic threat character is dazed, after the effects is resolved, remove the character from the battlefield, remove all damage, special conditions, activated tokens, and effects from the removed character. At the start of the cosmic player's turn, if Dormammu is not on the battlefield, the cosmic threat player replaces Dormammu's stat card with 1 presence lower to a minimum 0 presence. Place Dormammu within one of the Nexus. Dormammu may then draw power from the Nexus. At the start of the cosmic threat player's turn, if 1 or more minions are not on the battlefield, they may place 1 minion character within one of a dimensional rift. Effects cannot add activated tokens to Dormammu. And then draw power. Dormammu may draw power during each cleanup phase, whenever he would be placed back on the battlefield at the Nexus, or whenever a special rule or effect says that he may draw power. And then ending the encounter, which we've already read. So basically you can draw it every cleanup phase, right? Every cleanup phase, during each cleanup phase, you can draw power, or whenever he would be placed back on the battlefield at the Nexus. So yeah, so you can power him up each cleanup phase then. So other side. So Crisis Team, interactive spell components. You do not have to spend power to use this interact ability. Pick up the spell components. Then interact with dimensional rifts. You don't have to spend power to do so. Take a random spell component from the pool, and then the interacting character is now holding that spell component. So interact dark dimension portal. Place this character within one of a dimensional rift. Dormammu gains 1 power, and the Crisis Team character suffers 1 damage. Characters may use this interact ability only once per turn. Place each spell component, so interact dark dimension portal. Place each spell component this character is holding that is not currently placed on a dark dimension portal, and then if all spots are filled, the Crisis draws a Mystical Surge card, which we were explaining, and then it's closed afterwards. Dark Simulacra. Each time this character, or this Crisis Team dazes a cosmic threat character, each character within range, within one of the dazed character may immediately pick up 1 random spell component from the pool. So if you can daze the minions, that's really good, because then you're gaining extra spell components as well. And then it goes into Dark Arcane Teachings, which we've already read over, and then your end encounter there as well. You do also have your Dark Servant's status card. I'm not sure when he gets it though, because it doesn't say, so I think it's always in effect. I'd have to figure that out, but Dark Servant's status card. Minions of the Cosmic Threat player gain additional power during the power phase equal to Dormammu's presence, so it's going to be right from the beginning. If a minion character would be damaged by an enemy effect while within 2 of a dark dimensional portal or dimensional rift, prevent that damage is pushed short instead. When a minion character becomes dazed, remove it from the battlefield. If a minion of the Cosmic Threat player dazes or KOs a Crisis character, add 1 shard token to the Nexus. So you really want to keep your guys around and alive, and not have you get your Crisis Team dazed, because then you're just helping Dormammu become that much more stronger. So these are his stat cards. You get 2 stat cards for Dormammu. You can get your presence 0 here, so this is the lowest you can be. 8 stamina, medium movement, size 5. 4/4/5 for defenses. He has Shadow Bolt, which when calculating successes after this attack, it's an energy attack, so a range 4, 6 strength. The character adds a number of failures in both the attack and defenses roll. It has Hex on a wild and stat power. He has Spectral Claws, range 2 physical attacks, 6 strength, 3 power to use. This character may reroll any number of attack dice. For this attack, it has Pierce on a wild, and after this attack is resolved, the target character, if the target character was dazed or KO'd by this attack, add 1 shard to the Nexus. Oh, that's interesting. Really good. Then this character may draw power from the Nexus. Oh, even better. And then you have Incantation of Obliteration, which looks like it does the exact same thing, and you add failures from both the attack and defense rolls from compared. So this Dark Miasm looks to be the exact same as his regular version that you use in a regular game. Not of this dimension, place this character within 2 of his current position, only be used once, cost 3 power. Feel the power of darkness. After an attack targeting this character is dissolved, you may use this superpower. You push them away, they gain Hex, so it's the exact same thing. If you already have Hex, you gain Incinerate, and then Incredible Physical Conditioning. At the start of the Cosmic player's turn, this character gains power equal to its presence. At the start of the Cosmic player's turn, this character gains power equal to the number of dark dimensional portals in play. So he's going to have a ton of power. At the beginning of his turn, he's going to gain 5 power right off the bat, at least, unless that changes over here. So going up to presence 2, his stats get higher, both his physical and energy, and they've highlighted them here, the changes as well. Oh yeah, and he has encounter character, flight, immunity to bleed, incinerate, stagger, and stun. And same with the other side. I don't think there's any other changes here. And then you go into Presence 2, and he has 10 stamina now. No changes in defense stats, but he does have a change to Spectral Claw, so they outline what has changed, so you can be aware of those. So it's now costs 2 power instead of 3 power to do, and that looks like it's it. Yeah, and then you flip it over to his Presence 3. And his defense for energy and mystic have jumped up by 1, and then Incantation of Obliteration is an area effect 2, 8 strength still, and then costs 5 power to do, and then you add the failures in both the attack and defense rolls to the total success level of this. So yeah, so that's how he gets stronger as well. So it'll be interesting to really try this. I'm gonna try it out. Like I tried out the Thanos one when Thanos came out. I'm gonna give this one a go as well. My idea is to combine this actually with the Domain of Dread event and do like a 2-part sort of mini series type thing where it's all focusing on Dormammu. So let's look at this next. And CK09, Domain of the Dread Dormammu Organized Play Kit. It comes with, on the back here, it says it comes with 8 entity cards, 8 token sheets, 8 alternate art objective cards, 8 alternate art character cards, 8 alternate art team tactics cards, and then 16 mission cards. So a bunch of stuff. I've already taken a look at this, and they are pretty cool. So you can see all your tokens here for, I still have them in plastic. Let me just take this plastic off because I did not do that earlier. So there's your set of 8 token cards, right? We'll go through these later on to see what they are. And then we can also look at the cards that come in the set as well. So actually, let's read this, what it does, what this mission is first off. So you have your little rule sheet for your scenario in here, your event that you're running. It goes over the event structure. So basically you're playing 2 missions, and they're asymmetrical, so you're playing the exact same mission twice, but from 2 sides of things. So you're going to play the good side and then the bad side, I guess, or the side of Dormammu. It gives you rules for miniatures to use during the event, so they have to be made from a majority of Atomic Mass Games miniature parts from Crisis Protocol miniature line. Miniatures must be easily identifiable as the character represents. Cannot customize a miniature in such a way that any part of the miniature represents the intellectual property of another one. So like all that type of stuff. Players have to have all cards, character cards, team tactics cards, crisis cards included in the roster or squad. Proxies of cards are not allowed. Again, these are like event rules that they suggest using here. And then your dice, it talks about how you need to have the dice for measuring tools and your tokens. So, yeah. Rosters and squads. Do not build rosters in the event, but will build squads. Some of these missions will limit what is available to the players when building a roster or a squad, or given additional characters that they can use. The rules for building a roster or squad can be found on whatever page. Talks about sportsmanship, terrain, and how the event organizer should mark the size of terrain so everybody knows and there's no discrepancy through the game. Talks about the pairings, and then prize support. So what they suggest for prize support is a player who plays at least one game receives either the promotional version of Advanced R&D, Team Stax's card, and the Demons Downtown Crisis card. If the players play both games, they receive both of them, and then a player who plays at least one game with a fully painted squad receives the promotional version of Doctor Strange character card. So yeah, those are the event rules there. I'll show you all the cards afterwards. Let's actually look at the rules for the game. Yeah, so here we go. So, Domain of the Dread Dormammu. The attacking squad is entering the Dark Dimension to save the possessed friends from the grip of the Dread Dormammu and banish the power of his entity. In order to end the possession, they must break the entity's control over the defending team. The defending squad has fallen under the possession of the Dread Dormammu. Their goal is to hold off the attackers and protect the Dark Dimension. They must secure the sacred portals to secure the sacred portals to prevent further intrusion and protect their mystical artifacts from being used to break Dormammu's control over them. Priority. Players may either roll off or decide among themselves which side of the scenario they will play, attacker or defender. The defender starts the game with priority. So squad creation, the attacker character creates a 12 threat value squad with 2 team tactics cards. The attacker then creates another list of characters totaling 18 threat, which will serve as their reserves when determining affiliation. Count only the characters in the squad, so that first 12 threat squad that you bring. And only characters with a printed threat value of 6 or lower, so 6 or lower, and different alter egos may be used in the squad and reserves creation. Infinity gems cannot be used in this mission. Defender creates a 17 threat squad with 2 team tax cards from their collection. The defender must use the Dark Dimension affiliation and the leadership ability from the entity card, regardless of the characters in their squad. Only characters with a printed threat level of 6 or lower can be used in the squad creation. And again, gems cannot be used. Deployment, the character deploys first. The attacker deploys first, placing all their characters within range 3 of their battlefield edge. So you can see that here with the map layout. Like so. And then the defender deploys, placing all their characters within range 3 of the battlefield edge. Defender chooses a character in their squad to be the entity and places the entity card next to the chosen character. So the entity card is as follows. The entity, they get +1 energy and mystic defense. Their leadership is this character, and other characters you control gain 1 additional power during the power phase. During the power phase, if another allied character, it's basically the Dark Dimensions leadership from Dormammu's card. He has an innate superpower, the Dreadlord's Protection. When a enemy character targets this character with an attack, it may use its mystic defense regardless of the attack's type unless the attacking character pays 1. Sort of like Enchantress and others along those lines, Mysterio and such. And another innate, the Perfect Host. All attacks made by this character are mystic attacks. Additionally, add 1 die to this character's attack rolls for every banishment token on this card. And then the last one is the Dreadlord's Domain. During the cleanup phase, you must place this character within 1 of the altars. So the altar is that in the center, right there. All right, special rules. Ancient artifact asset. A character cannot hold more than 1 ancient artifact token at a time. When a character holding an ancient artifact token artifact makes a mystic attack or a mystic defense roll, add 1 die to the roll. When a character drops an ancient artifact, instead of placing it within 2 of the character, it is placed within 1 of the portal that does not have another ancient artifact within 1 of it. Change host. When an enemy character, when the entity card is dazed or KO'd, the entity is banished. See the Defender's special rules, which we'll go over down below. Altar, target of opportunity. Characters may not end a movement overlapping the altar. The altar is considered to be size 2 non-interactive terrain feature portal, which are the 3 portals here. Portals are either open or sealed. Sealed portals are noted with an X. And then spawn gates, which is, I should say, that one there is a spawn gate. Spawn gate, target of opportunity, reinforcements will arrive through their portal. This portal, see attacker special rules for more information. So defenders information here. Interact open portal, or with an open portal, I should say. Roll dice equal to the interacting character's mystic defense. If the roll contains more crits, wilds, or hits than results in the number of healthy contesting enemy characters, flip the open portal to its sealed side. So this is, again, the defenders, the guys that are trying to protect, that have been mind controlled to protect Dormammu. Banishment: when an entity is banished, the defending player chooses a non-dazed allied character. Move the entity card to the chosen to that character. If there are no non-dazed allied characters, choose a dazed allied character instead. The chosen character removes all damage, special conditions, then flips its card to the injured side and becomes the entity. Move the entity card to that character. If the chosen character has an activated token, remove it. Add a banishment dazed token to the entity card. So that's how the banishment works. So when you banish it from the one character to another. You have the attacker over here. So backup is the first one. So during the cleanup phase, flip each sealed portal controlled by the attacker to the open portal side. Then the attacker puts a character from the reserves with a total threat value equal to 3 plus the number of open portals onto the battlefield. These characters are placed within one of the spawn gate. They are now part of the attacker's squad. After the character is placed into play, it gains power equal to the current game round. So yeah, you're going to be building up your team, and more guys are going to be jumping through to try to help you take down Dormammu and his minions. Interact ancient artifact. Pick up an artifact. Interact with sealed portal. Roll dice equal to the interacting character's mystic defense. If it contains more hits, wilds, and crits, then the result of the number of healthy contesting enemy characters. Flip the sealed portal to its open side. It is now open. Interact altar. Characters do not have the power, or characters do not have to pay power to use this interact. If the character is holding an ancient artifact, place the ancient artifact token on the altar. Then, if all 3 artifacts are on the altar, the ritual is performed, and the entity suffers damage until it is dazed. The defender places each ancient artifact within one of a portal that does not already have an ancient artifact. So basically you're completing that spell and damaging the entity and banishing out of one of the bodies, and then scoring. The attacker cannot score victory points during this scenario. The attacker wins the game when the 4th banishment token is placed on the entity card, which I don't know what the banishment tokens are, but I guess it could just be any token you want, I guess, right? Damage, whatever. During the cleanup phase, the defender scores victory points based on the number of sealed portals at the end of each round. They score 1 victory point if 1 portal is sealed, 3 victory points if 2 portals are sealed, and 6 victory points if all 3 portals are sealed. The defender wins the game at the end of the 6th round, or if they score 13 victory points. If at any point the player has no characters in play, they lose the game. So you can table your opponent, or score the victory points, or get 4 banishment tokens on the entity for the attacker. So my thoughts for this, actually, hold on, we're not done yet. I still got to show some stuff off here. Let me get that out of the way. So here's some more cards that you get. So this is the exclusive Demons Downtown. Nice purple color on there, right? So it's the exact same scenario as before. And then you have your blue on the back, right? And then you have your advanced R&D. Nothing has changed there, but the artwork is absolutely stunning. Are they the Infinity Gems with a Watcher in the background? I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, it looks really, really cool. I like it a lot. Where I guess the Watcher is holding on to the people with the Infinity Gems. I think it's Doctor Strange, Star-Lord. It looks like Captain Marvel. I'm not sure the other guys off the top of my head. Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments. Then obviously your entity card as well. So those are the cards that you get. And then you get your exclusive Doctor Strange card as well. So it comes with enough for 8 players with 8 of each of the cards as well. So it's really, really cool. What I'm planning on doing with this is combining the Ultimate Encounter with this event encounter. I don't want to call it encounter, but scenario, and sort of doing like a mini campaign with it where Dormammu has came to the Earth, started taking minions and mind controlling people and having a sway there. Then if the heroes beat him, you know what I mean, pushes them back into the dark dimension where they have to go rescue their friends that have been mind controlled by him. Or if they lost the ultimate encounter, then fighting their way through to take the fight to Dormammu and his entities in the world. That's what I was thinking, at least. And having some fun with that, just joining where I would be joining those 2 scenarios in the sense that the crisis teams from the ultimate encounter will be the reserve list / the squad that goes and fights the minions in the event, organized play kit event. So that was my idea. I think I have a friend that's going to be jumping out and coming to help me in that. So I got a lot of work to do before I get there, though, because I want to do like a destroyed terrain board, or destroyed terrain on the board. So like destroyed cities and cars and rubble and stuff like that. I might use it, or I might make it like a European city with like castle walls and such. I'm not sure yet. Because I got like a nice cobblestone 3x3 mat that I can use, and I got some like portals for the city that it looks like there's additional portals opening up and everything else. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. And then Dark Dimensions, I have a whole bunch of terrain. I'll just have to figure out how I'm gonna make it look all like dark dimension-y and go from there. That's my thoughts, at least. So but yeah, so those are the unboxings of CP33 Dormammu with his ultimate encounter and mini, and then also CK09 Domain of the Dread Dormammu. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. If you haven't yet, make sure you check out Torchlight Games and Hobbies. In the description of the video down below, you'll find a link to our website. You can use code FIRE5 to save yourself 5% off of your hobby supply needs. Also, while you're there, if you're interested, check out the Patreon page and you can support the channel through that. We greatly appreciate the support given by our past and present Patreon members. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, ignite your hobby.